Royals and the Astros that split the first two games of this three-game set it tonight from the Big A on a gorgeous night. I know we're starting a little bit earlier. It's the rubber game of the series between your Angels and the defending world champion Houston Astros. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West along with Mark Kubica. I'm Victor Rojas, and we are going to be treated to a very special pitching matchup tonight because Garrett Richards is on the mound for the Angels. Justin Verlander, who's thrown the ball exceptionally well, he's the leader of that Astros pitching staff, on the mound for the Stros.
Yeah, Victor, two outstanding pitchers with outstanding wipeout pitches, and both of them we're going to see you out this entire evening with very good slider. Garrett Richards, when you think about it, last three home starts versus the Astros, 2-1 with 1.42 ERA for him. 4-1 record so far this season. The big thing for him is make sure you get ahead with that fastball, finish off the righties with the slider, and also that curveball, especially against some left-handed batters. It's going to be very, very important to be able to have a little bit of change of speeds. That's so big for Garrett Richards. 118 batting average versus his secondary pitches. Justin Verlander, 4-2 this season, 1.21 ERA. That's the best amongst any starter in the major leagues as far as an ERA. 77 strikeouts so far this season, just 13 walks, so a great ratio. He's another one who's thrown more sliders this season. He's got 4 quality out pitches. Fastball command is very good. You got to try to get him early in the game, especially until he settles in with that fastball and increases that fastball velocity as the game progresses.
Well, we saw the change in the lineup last night with Mike Trout leading off and HOU AT ANA in the number 2 spot. Mike Scioscia will run out similar lineup with Upton batting third against Justin Verlander. We're going to step away for a moment. When we return, the starting pitching has been spectacular in the month of May. Patrick O'Neill will have a look back when we come back.
New 2019 Jeep Cherokee. Embrace every new opportunity with a redesigned exterior and 31 highway MPG. Test drive one today. By Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by your SoCal Mazda dealers.
And we'll get you set for first pitch momentarily. The Astros and the Angels from the Big A alongside Jose Mota. I'm Patrick O'Neill. And Jose, when the Angels saw the pitching staff of the Astros, they thought, wow, especially with the addition of Garrett Cole, how are we going to match up? Well, guess what? They've matched up quite well in 5 games so far. That leads us to our Mercedes-Benz League leaders.
Well, we should see these leaders only because, remember, the Angels went into Houston having lost a series against the San Francisco Giants, a sub-500 team. So the challenge became, well, going to Houston, what do you have to do? Patrick, simple. Go out there and take care of business on the mound and give the Angels a chance to win with the offense, at a minimum, to win ball games for you. Should have won last night with Berea, but look at Skaggs, Ohtani, Tropiano, who did not even make the team out of spring training, and of course, the new look, Andrew Heaney. They have given the Angels time after time a chance against the Astros every single time out.
And time for Garrett Richards just to follow up what these guys have started. It's a great matchup here tonight. There's G. Rich with Martin Maldonado. First pitch is coming up. Victor and Mark have the call. Hey, we'll see you after the game for Angels Live. Enjoy it, everybody.
West is brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers. Buy Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. Welcome back out to the Big A. A beautiful night, not a cloud in the sky, 71 degrees. And hopefully the Angels come out victorious. A tough one last night with the bullpen unable to hold a 3-1 lead and a terrific pitching performance. Jaime Barria went 7 innings. Gave up a run on 4 hits, striking out 7, allowing no walks. And for his effort, because the bullpen taxed over the last couple of days, Jaime got sent out today, and Eduardo Paredes called up, and he is in the pen.
But Jaime Barria is going to be a big part of the success of this team this season in 2018. He has been spectacular so far.
Garrett Richards taking the field, and we'll take a look at A.J. Hinch's starting lineup. Well, the Houston Astros at 27-17. They're a game better than the Angels. They'll have Springer, Bregman, Altuve in the top third of the order. Correa, McCann, and Gurriel at first base in the middle third. Raddick's in right. Gattis is the DH, and then Tony Kemp is the left fielder. He just got called up today, and we see action for the first time in 2018. Garrett Richards making his 9th start of the season. 4-1 with a 4.08 ERA.
Yeah, fastball velocity has been pretty consistent this season. 49 strikeouts. 39 2/3 innings pitched. My go-tos for G. Rich to be successful tonight, though, is first pitch strike. That's something he has been a little bit inconsistent with so far this season, and break on through to the other side with that slider and curveball when he's ahead of the count. 118 batting average against his slider and curveball so far this season.
Check out the defense for the Angels tonight, and very similar looking out in the outfield, and Upton, Trout, and Calhoun. The infield has Cozart back over at third base after night off. Simmons at short, Kinsler at second, Pujols at first, Maldonado behind the plate.
Maldonado is so important to keep Garrett Richards under control this entire game, to get there deep in the ball game once again. 131 starts last season, which was a career high. This season so far, very solid. The record for the Angels with the games in which he started, 17-11. Very good behind the plate. Quick throwing arm also. 36% throwing out base stealers throughout his career.
Rene Rivera got the start behind the plate last night. So with a veteran like Rene on this 25-man roster, Martin gets the opportunity to take more days off earlier this year than, say, last year. We saw how he ran out of gas and kind of effective. He's swinging the bat very well also at this time.
Yeah, keep him fresh. Gold Glove winner last season behind the plate, Martin Maldonado.
But George Springer strolls to the plate. He's ready to go, as is Garrett Richards. The loss last night, the Angels at 25-17. So both clubs even in the loss column. Houston's played 2 more games than the Angels. Springer comes in batting, 288, 8 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Here's the first one tonight, and it's popped up. Martin toward the on deck circle.
Well,
One
you
pitch,
love those
start the
one pitch
game.
outs.
First pitch was brought to you by Carson Toyota.
And it was a very good first pitch. One quick out. What we saw in the first couple of games for Springer, he's been pretty patient on the first pitch, but he's guessing he's going to get a fastball first pitch. He doesn't want to deal with those secondary pitches from Richards.
Alex Bregman, the third baseman, coming up now. One for 3 with a single and a walk, scored 2 runs. 259 on the season. 15 doubles, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. Just down and away. Chris Conroy's calling the balls and strikes tonight. Chris Siegel filling in, I should say, for fielding Colbreth. Brian O'Nora, the crew chief, at second. CB Buckner over at third. Two balls, no strikes.
Pretty close to the upper part of the strike zone. That's a good running action. 96 from Richards. You knew Bregman was probably going to take, especially because Springer made it out on that very first pitch, even though he's generally very aggressive on the first pitch scene.
2-1. For Garrett's his 15th career game, 12th start against Houston, 5-4 with a 3.28 ERA. He's pitched well in his career in this ballpark. In general, this year a little bit different. Bregman lifts one out to right. Cole's got to go back on it. 2 down.
And work towards that little sun out there towards the right field, but a nice play once again from Cole out in right field.
Talking about Richards and his struggles here at home this year. 2-1 with a 5.79 ERA. A little different than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, overall 24-15 with a 3.51 at the Big A for Richards.
So 2 quick outs. Here's Altuve. He had the dagger last night against Jose Alvarez. The bases clearing double. He'll shoot one to the alley, right center field, jumping on that first pitch. Double at least for Altuve. Trout will get it back in. Jose will stop right there.
Well, you can see the game plan early on here for the Astros against Richards. And when you look at the numbers against his fastball this season, hitters have had some success against Richards' fastball. He gets one there, inside out, lines it to right center field. A real good swing there for Altuve, his 11th double of the season.
Gives Correa an opportunity here in the first inning. Correa 287, 7 home runs, 29 runs batted in. 0 for 4 last night. Just above the strike zone.
It's one of those backup sliders for Richards. Seeing it the way they're attacking it, that first pitch fastball, decided to go with a breakable to Correa first pitch.
Shout to right. Cole going back on it, was playing deep. Is there, shy of the track, puts it away. The third out. So that 2-out double, stranded in scoring position. You've got Trout, Ohtani up and coming up for the Angels with no score. .43rd lineup of the season. Trout leading things off at center field. Ohtani at DH. Upton in left. Pujols at first. Simmons at short. Cozart back in the lineup at third base. Kinsler at second base. Calhoun at right. Maldonado doing the catching, batting ninth. Justin Verlander, Virginia native, now 35 years of age, making his 10th start of the season. 4-2. Gooby, you mentioned it. 1.21 ERA. The last time these two teams met, Verlander was third on his staff. He's no longer third on his staff.
And he is locked in 77 strikeouts. His 13 walks so far. My go-to is to be successful against him, though, is drive that fastball to the short porch. That means hit the ball to right center field and bunch some hits together against him. You can steal against him, you can run against him, but you got to bunch some of those hits together to have a multi-run inning.
Trout a .306 batting average. Takes a first pitch strike. You know, when the Angels at Astros met at Minute Maid, Charlie Morton, Garrett Cole had better ERAs than Justin Verlander. You knew the veteran wasn't going to put up with that kind of stuff. 0-1.
Well, Trout is really struggling in his career versus Verlander too. When you think about it, he's 2 for 23, but both of those hits, home runs against Verlander, and have come in the first inning.
.02 pitch. Another breaking ball. 1-2. 8 doubles, 2 triples, 12 home runs, 25 RBIs for Mike. 2 walks last night, 2 strikeouts. So we went 0 for 2.
Verlander, as you can see, he's thrown a lot more sliders already in this game. He's thrown some tight, sharp sliders to Trout.
Trout skies this one on the right side of the infield. Altuve calls off Gurriel. 1 down.
Baseball was up there for a long time.
Take a look at the Astros on the defensive side of things. In the outfield with Kemp, Springer, and Reddick. Kemp making his first start of the season. Infield has Bregman, Correa, Altuve, and Gurriel third to first. McCann behind the plate once again.
And although Altuve had that bases clearing double, I think those plays out in right field last night by Josh Reddick were the key for the Astros coming back and win that game. 2 outfield assists, 6 this season, tying Cole Calhoun for the major league lead as far as outfield assists in right field here tonight.
Ohtani looks at a strike. Shohei at .342, 4 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. 1 for 4 last night with a single off Garrett Cole.
A little bit of sun right in Ohtani's eye right now.
Up and away with a fastball.
A little earlier start, especially trying to deal with a high fastball. Not easy to do so.
Those are the things you notice as a veteran pitcher too, right?
Oh,
Take advantage of.
I would think you have a better chance of tracking a pitch in the lower part of the strike zone. At least you can bring your eyes down away from that sunlight going right in your eyes. Especially as you see as a left-handed batter.
One-two pitch. Fouled back.
Well, so far this season, Ohtani has homered off of Kluber. He's homered off for Severino. Guys with firm fastballs. He was on that fastball there from Verlander.
Another 1-2. Tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's done a real nice job as far as adjusting those fastballs in. Was pitched in a ton in spring. He stays in there very well.
Still writing his scouting book. That's the amazing thing. First time he's seen these guys. 2-2 on the way. Hard breaking ball down and in.
It's going to be a tough pitch for him tonight, that hard slider, especially after he backs it with a fastball in. Good at bat working so far for Shohei Ohtani.
Full count. Upton on deck. No score. We're in the bottom of the first. Here comes the payoff pitch. And he got him with that hard breaking ball. Went right back to it. 2 outs.
Back-to-back really sharp, hard sliders to Ohtani. First one a little bit out of the strike zone. Came right back inside with that sharp slider. Not a strike, but close enough. You have to swing at it. And the increase of his sliders thrown over the last 5 seasons from 2014 we threw 15.1% to this season nearly 24% of all his pitches are sliders. It started getting better last year, 2017, started throwing more sliders. It's a sharp break to it.
Upton lines one out toward right field. Reddick moving over, and he will track it down as the Angels go down in order here in the first. Rock to the second, scoreless. This 3-game set.
In my Hyundai, key for this game for the Angels and Richards to be successful against this Astro ball club, going a little Keith Urban. Parallel lines, stay within those lines as far as that delivery. At times the mechanics for Richard will fall over towards that first base side, the pitching mound. Stay in those lines and be effective throughout. And it really works on the offensive side too, especially against Verlander. You want to think in terms of those lines as middle of the field against Verlander. That was a real good swing from Justin Upton, even though it was run down by Reddick and Wright.
McCann shoots one out toward left field. Upton going back on it. Puts it away just shy of the track for the first down. That's 4 fly ball outs for Garrett Richards.
When you think about it, Garrett Richards' ground ball percentage this year, a little over 61%. He was getting some fly ball outs early on. Talk about those leaders in ground ball percentage. We saw Lance McCullers the first game this year, 61.5%. Richards at 61% ground ball percentage.
Gurriel looks at the strike.
That's a nasty slider. 90-mile-an-hour slider for a strike. Good slider once again. That's all over the strike zone. Good
Close
spot.
to going, yeah.
One thing Richards always has to do that is clear the mind right there. He thought he threw a perfect pitch, didn't get the call. Got a dangerous hitter at the plate now. Don't make a mistake.
Chopper to short, Simmons. A 2-hopper, 2 down.
Got a ground ball out there with his fastball. You look at numbers versus Richards this season. It's where the fastball and his slider and curveball combination. Fastball coming into the game, batting average of .296 with 3 home runs. But when you look at his slider and curveball, there's a .118 batting average with 2 home runs allowed. So that's why you're seeing early on here a lot of swings at the first pitch for the Astros, hoping to get a fastball first pitch.
Reddick looks at a strike. Right fielder, 234 on the season. Batting at the number 8 spot last night. Ended up going 1 for 3. Good off-speed pitch.
It's a good slow curveball. That's an important pitch for Rich. He does not throw a changeup anymore, so his all-speed pitch is his curveball. Another going at 81, tried to get Reddick to chase. Jaime Barria, remember, his second at bat got him to chase a break ball like that in the dirt for a swing and miss. Certainly a sign of the 2-seam running, sinking fastball. Yeah, when you see that catcher put the 1 sign down and it makes that circle sign, that means you want that sinker, that runner. Back with a slider now.
Count still at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 quick outs for Richards. Give up a 2-out double in the first. We got Correa to line one out to right field.
That's a good fastball. Pretty good hack at it though by Reddick. He was trying to hit the ball the other way there. One guy in this lineup, but pretty good success against Richards has been Josh Reddick. 360 batter, 9 for 25.
Cute left side. Cozart, boy, see that spin? Has no play on it. That ball had so much spin on it, it kicked to his right at the very end. Never really controlled it in the glove.
Minnesota Fats playing pool would be
right.
impressed with that one.
Chalk or no chalk?
Yes. That's a breaking ball. Just on basically on the top part of the bat. It's one of those ones where you talk about barreling up a baseball. That was not the case there for Reddick, but he had the spin on it. See how that baseball spinning in the glove, still with spin as he's trying to get a grip on it for Cozart, and they could not handle in the transfer.
Third error of the season for Cozart.
It's a pretty tough error, really, though.
Gattis DHing once again. He'll hit one out toward left field, hit well. Upton racing back, and that is gone. A 2-run home run for Evan Gattis. That error, huge. 2-0 Stros. This team has played so well defensively all season. Last night with a couple of errors in one inning and a 2-out error here in the second.
It's the 4th home run of the season for Gattis, 14 RBI.
Left fielder number 18, Tony Kemp.
At their first pitch, break a ball, got a fastball that ran on the inner half, and he doesn't miss a fastball in the inner half. He is super strong, Gattis is. Hits that one well out to left field.
That off of Richards. Kemp is thrown out at first for the 3rd out. Question is where to get him. Jared walks off the field, and the Angels are trailing at 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Verlander retired the side in order in the first, including a strikeout. He gets Pujols, Simmons, and Cozart. Albert 1 for 4 last night. 3,008 career hits now. .250 batting average. 9 doubles, 6 home runs, 21 runs batted in.
Pretty good career numbers against Verlander. 276, 8 for 29 with 2 home runs for Albert against Verlander. One thing, always keep an eye on Verlander, especially early in the game. His fastball is going to be 92, 93, 94. But as the game progresses, all of a sudden you see that fastball 96 and 97.
Ground ball to short. One away. Bring up Simmons. The second start of the season for Verlander against the Angels. Pitch at Minute Maid on April 25th. Picked up the W. 7 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 9 through 97 pitches. Last 2 starts, though. Last 3 starts. No decision and 2 losses. Going 8, 6, and 6 innings respectively.
And he pitched well in all 3 of those games. Total of 2 earned runs. The old saying, pitching on the wrong day.
No doubt. Had 14 strikeouts against the Yankees and a no decision. That's a tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough ND right there. Simmons hitting .342. That's off the plate for a strike.
Especially when you see a catcher bringing it back that much. So we're talking about presentation behind the plate for a catcher. Just keep that baseball there. Sometimes you'll get those calls, but when you're bringing it back, you're basically telling the home plate umpire it's off the plate. I'm trying to bring it back in the zone.
That's a strike. 1-2. Simmons last night 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. Ground ball through the left side, a base hit.
He's so quick with his hands, Anderson Simmons. He's always been so good, especially throughout his entire career. But when you put that Angel uniform on, even better with 2 strikes, making contact. Verlander runs that one inside. He's able to bring his hands inside. He's still able to get the barrel of the bat on that fastball from Verlander for a base hit. For Cozart to be swinging here, first pitch, hoping to get a fastball.
Cozart mentioned had the night off last night, hitting .235, back at third base. 10 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in.
One thing we've seen over the years with Verlander, he's got a pretty good move at the first, and once he gets locked in, he will continue to throw over the first base.
Like that?
Yes. 29 career pickoffs for Verlander.
Cozart ended up picking up 2 hits in that start against Verlander on April 25th. Single and a double. Well, down towards center. Springer's got to go back on it. He'll stay in the yard. Simmons back to first to tag. He'll stay there.
And a good decision to do so. Springer with a good arm, 2 outfield assists in center field.
So 2 outs and a man at first for Ian Kinsler.
Well, Verlander has thrown the ball so well. When you talk about tops and categories, a lot of very good, important pitching categories this season for Verlander. You mentioned earlier, Victor, that ERA is amongst starters, 1.21 ERA, but opponent's batting average is 146. WHIP, 0.72 and 77 strikeouts, 4th best in the majors. All for a guy just a couple of years ago, everyone was thinking that he reached that peak and he was going downwards as far as consistency on the mound.
And while the Tigers had a nice stretch there, a nice run, getting to the World Series on the line, I think you talk about feeling re-energized. Coming over to the Astros, a little bit younger ball club, being the leader of the staff. And even more so this year with the addition of Garrett Cole. Quick throw to first. Simmons is back.
Yeah, Garrett Cole's already said he's learned so much from not only the conversations with Justin Verlander, but watching him and how he goes about his business every single day.
Simmons having to do a little laundry over at first. 1-0 count on Kinsler. Ian's batting average down to 209. 5 doubles, 2 home runs, and 5 runs batted in. 1 for 4 last night. 1-1. You go back to that April 25th game. Kinsler was the leadoff man in that game. Very first pitch of the game. Verlander didn't ask permission to buzz the tower, but he buzzed the tower up and in with a fastball, and it kind of set the tone a little bit.
Especially with, it's a former teammate, he did so. So if you're willing to do that with your former teammate, nobody was comfortable digging in that batter's box. That's the old Bob Gibson and Don Drysdale way.
Didn't allow a hit till there were 2 outs in the 5th inning. That was the Cozart one. Off the end of the bat to shallow center.
It was outstanding numbers. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings, no walks. Hopefully at some point when we talk about pitch count, we'll talk about how many times Verlander throws to first base to add that in the pitch count. It's at least 5 throws over the first base already.
Kinsler hits one out toward left field, kept back a couple of steps. Left fielder puts it away, and the Angels are done here in the 2nd. We're headed to the 3rd. Houston leading at 2-0. Houston on the Evan Gattis home run. Get your red on at Angel Stadium with the Coca-Cola Friends and Family Fun Pack for only $48. You get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 soft drinks. For more info regarding the Coca-Cola Friends and Family Fun Pack, go to angels.com/fun pack. Fun pack, he said.
Yes.
He said fun pack.
Fun pack.
Springer, Bregman, Altuve, and the first one's up and in. Springer popped out in foul territory to lead off the game. Popped up. Kinsler.
Okay, that's that backup slider. And sometimes we'll have that true break to his slider. Other times we'll back up almost like a split finger fastball. They'll get some odd swings on it. That's exactly what he got. And a George Springer on that one for a pop-up to Kinsler.
Bregman a fly ball to right field. More of a line drive to Calhoun. It's in his first inning at bat. 0 for 1. Houston with a victory last night. Now 16-9 within the division. Halos at 13-5. There's a division game played this afternoon. Texas defeating Seattle 5-1. Oakland currently trailing Boston 6-4 in Fenway.
Good curveball. Doesn't throw many curveballs to right-handed batters, but that's a solid one there from Richards. Good fastball there. When you think about it, 5 games played between these two teams so far. The Angels with the edge of 3-2 as far as victories, but the runs separate, just 1 run different. The Astros scoring 1 more run than the Angels in these 5 games. So it's been very good, very competitive in 5 games against world champs.
Breaking ball line to left. Upton is there. Drops.
And now it's time for the key drive to success. Talking about the success the Angels have had, especially over the last 5 starts. Starting with Tyler Skaggs, Tropiano, Shohei Ohtani. You see there Andrew Heaney and Jaime Barria. All really good, solid starts as far as getting deep into games and preventing runs scored against them. Just 3 runs, the highest amount. That was against Nick Tropiano, who settled in very well in his start. So the starters have been doing outstanding of late.
Altuve bouncing this one to Kozak. Slip coming out of the batter's box in a 1-2-3 third inning for Richards. First time he's retired the side in order. 2-0 Houston as we head to the bottom of the inning.
By Hyundai. Get a great deal, more than a great deal on all new Hyundai vehicles. See your Hyundai dealer today. By Carl's Jr. Take your mouth to Memphis, the call of Carl's. And by your Southern California Cadillac dealers.
Houston on top 2-0 here at the bottom of the third. Justin Verlander to face Calhoun, Maldonado, and Trout. 1 strikeout, 1 hit allowed. Cole at 162 on the season. Had a 1-for-3 game last night. That was the base hit that saw a rare Trout put out on the bases. Thrown out at third base by Josh Reddick with a couple of outfield assists last night. 1 at third and 1 at home.
I think really that was the key for them, allowing them to come back in the game, was this good defensive play. Just like Cole's great defensive play against Springer to double him up at second base in that fly ball that was at the wall in right field in the 9th inning, game 1.
Ball and a strike. It's career start number 21 for Justin Verlander against the Angels. 9-8 and a 3.32 earned run average. 10th start here at the Big A. He's got an ERA north of 5 at 5.15. A little different guy this year. One and two.
Pretty good chance to hit that ball the other way there for Cole. Let that fastball travel at 96. It was elevated. More like you'll see him come back to that hard slider down and in now.
Two balls, two strikes. Bregman pretty much at the shortstop position. Altuve out in shallow right. Correa on the second base side of the bag.
Which is highly unusual when you see a catcher put down a couple different signs
With nobody
no one on base.
I'm thinking the same thing. In case someone's peeking back.
Sometimes when you do a two sequence like that, it's one that is the pitch and then location. 2 or 3 could be inside, outside against a left-handed batter. First pitch would be the pitch you're going to throw. So that's going to be a slider down and in more than likely. Oh, went fastball in there.
One down, second strikeout for Verlander. Long gone are the days of the taps. Yeah. Shin guards, chest protector.
Again, you're seeing the velocity pick up. That one is at 97 for Verlander.
It is pretty incredible, has been incredible since he came to the big leagues, that the ability to ramp up as the game progresses and be able to sustain it throughout the course of a season. And now through the course of his career.
Yeah.
Here's Maldonado. 267. Gets jammed and pops it up. Bregman into foul territory. 2 down.
And with Mike Trout coming to the plate, what he has done on a couple occasions against Justin Verlander is worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Back in 2012, the first inning on a 1-1 count. Drove one out to left center field, well out. Same thing back May of 2017 on a 1-1 count in the first inning. Homered. His 2 hits in his career versus Verlander, both home runs on a 1-1 count.
Trout popped one up a mile high to Jose Altuve in the first.
So here we are at a 1-1 count. Trout is homered twice off of Verlander, both on a 1-1 count. 2 outs here. You're looking to drive the ball here.
Got a breaking ball.
time he threw him a curveball instead of a slider.
Chris Conroy has really opened up that outside part of the plate.
25 strikes out of 35 pitches thrown so far for Verlander, as usual around the strike zone.
Popped him up, went back to the high fastball. Gurriel. Angels down in order. 3 in the books, 2-0 Houston.
For heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
2-0 Houston, top of the 4th inning. A 2-run home run by Gattis. The difference in this one, that came in the 2nd inning. That immediately followed the error by Zach Kozar that would have been the 3rd out. The ball that Reddick cued off the end of the bat. Correa, McCann, and Gurriel here in the 4th. Correa lined down to Calhoun to end the 1st, so he's 0 for 1. Just in off the plate. For the most part, the Angels have kept Correa in check. It's a tough month of May.
So far in this game, Richards has faced 13 batters. The first pitch strike 9 times. Pretty solid for him. That enables him to throw that slider more often. Instead, had to go back and put himself in fastball counts.
It's up the count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. McCann on deck, then Gurriel.
Richards thought he got that one. It got the upper part of the strike zone. See this breaking ball, upper part of the strike zone, catches it.
Check swing, did not go. So leadoff walk, first base on balls for Garrett.
You got to be pretty strong not to swing at this pitch. A slider in the dirt. Did a nice job as far as holding up on the swing. It's a nasty slider. You have to commit to that, especially when you're dealing with a pitcher throwing mid to upper 90s. Correa did a nice job not going after that one.
McCann, a fly ball to left to lead off the second, is 0 for 1. Line to left. Upton has to go back.
Two solid swings there for McCann to that way to Upton in left center field. Took the ball hard this entire series.
You wonder now that he's gotten back to that swing, kind of using all entire field as opposed to having that Yankee Stadium type of swing, trying to pull everything in. If you can kind of bust him in, if you've got enough velo on the fastball to bust him in on the hands enough, at least to keep him honest. It seems as if he's now looking, middle away.
I mean, he'll still hit that fastball the knee level or below inside. But I think you can throw the four-seam fastball to keep him honest and then run that two-seamer, run back and catch that inside corner against him if it's above the belt. Because he's hit everything hard the other way here in the series, at least last couple nights.
No balls, 2 strikes. The Astros first baseman grounded out to Simmons. In his first at bounce, he's 0 for 1. .42 pitches for Garrett this far. 27 strikes. Gray over at first base, the leadoff walk. 2-0 Houston.
Good slider right there. Got ahead of the count. Finished off Gurriel with that slider. Now let's take a look at We Make It Easy. Brought to you by SoCal Toyota. Get ahead of the count. Able to throw breaking balls. A swing and a miss on an 89-mile-an-hour slider. Stays on top. The true break of a slider going down the way gets Gurriel. Swing and miss. First punch out of the game for Richards.
Here's Reddick. Reached out in the air by Kozak. Scored on the home run.
Boy, Reddick, when you think about it, over the last couple of seasons against the Angels, 28 hits with a .354 average since last season for Reddick against the Angels.
Josh off to a slow start to the .234 batting average. 11 extra base hits. Had a big double last night in the 8th inning. Leadoff double. It's Jose Alvarez that started the rally for Houston.
See a reaction by Richards. Maldonado was set up in. That fastball ran out over the plate. Even though it was firm at 96, it became a hittable pitch. If you're pitching inside, if you're going to miss, you want to miss off the plate in, not out over the plate. Especially when you're locked in against Verlander on the mound, where you're not going to get many opportunities to keep a game close like that. You got to keep the ball in the yard and not make a mistake over the middle of the plate. That's why you saw Maldonado say, make sure you get back where I want you to throw this pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 2 hits allowed. Not a big lead at all for Correa at first. Reddick goes down swinging, and the leadoff walk stranded at first base. Man, to the bottom of the fourth inning, Shohei Ohtani to lead things off for the Angels, down 2-0.
Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers and by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEFINS.com.
Houston on top 2-0 here in the fourth inning. Shohei Ohtani to lead things off. He'll be followed by Justin Upton and then Albert Pujols. Justin Verlander, 1 hit allowed, 2 strikeouts. Simmons with a base hit in the second. Shohei struck out in the first. Got to a 3-2 count. Got a hard slider down and in. Swung over the top of it. Bregman in on the grass over at third. Well, at shortstop position, really. First one in for a strike.
And he's pitched him inside a lot, and he's elevated fastballs, and he's throwing that hard slider down and in. And Shohei Ohtani makes adjustments so quick for a 23-year-old. He's never seen the majority of these pitches before.
Pulled down the right field line, but foul.
That one was up in the strike zone enough where he was able to get the barrel of the bat. Now knowing Verlander, especially 0-2, he's going to try to ride a high fastball or throw that slider in the dirt down and in.
Here comes the 0-2. He may have gone. No, C.B. Buckner says he did not.
Sure looked like he went from up here.
Shohei kind of shaking the ankles around a little bit.
Yeah. Got away with that.
One-two. Back with the fastball.
It's a pretty good hack at 96.
Shohei came in batting .342. 4 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Behind here, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball to the right side. That's Altuve. Upton lined one out to Reddick to end the first, so he's 0 for 1.
Verlander so consistent around the strike zone so far this season. Strikeout to walk ratio is 6-1. So when I mentioned earlier in go-tos, you got to bunch those hits together because he doesn't walk many batters.
got the lifting one out to center. Two down. They come celebrate Star Wars Night with the Angels as they take on the Rays coming up on Friday. It's a 7:07 start. Fans in attendance will take home the charming Han Solo Rally Monkey while supplies last. For more information and for tickets, just go to angels.com. Two outs, nobody on for Pujols. Grounded out his first plate appearance. Verlander pretty much clicking as he was at Minute Maid against the Angels in his first start.
And we talked about a great pitching matchup. So far in this game, both pitchers have gotten 4 one-pitch outs. And the reason why you see that is because hitters don't want to be falling behind in counts and have to deal with those secondary pitches. Very economical as far as pitch count for Verlander here into the 4th inning with 2 outs.
Pretty good rip at a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It's 1-2 now. You mentioned early on the Angels individually have had their issues against Justin Verlander. Not too many guys in this lineup that have put up good numbers against the righty. It's funny how that works where you get guys like Albert that can see the ball well out of his hand, but Mike, as talented as he is, has struggled against him.
It's all, it's really the feel and to be able to see the baseball out of the pitcher's hand. And some hitters will be very comfortable. Some others just can't see the ball, the rotation. That's why I would think at some point in this game where Trouty's going to go up there looking first pitch fastball and will go after it.
He's gotten a couple of them, but they've both been at the upper portion of the strike zone.
So he started him off with a breaking ball last time around.
Simmons on deck. 3-2 to Albert coming. Pulled to the left side. Bregman has to go off his glove. Correa knocks it down. And that'll go as an infield base hit for Albert.
Now 3,009 hits in his career. Bregman almost got to that baseball, deflected it over to Correa. And with his throwing arm, you never know if he's going to set that foot and throw across the diamond as Albert picks up an infield hit. But Bregman, great range as a third baseman.
Surprising to see him with 7 errors this year.
It has to all be on throws. Think about it. Sometimes as a third baseman, you have too much time and you throw that high throw to first.
Simmons takes a strike. Angelton with a base hit, the second.
See that batting average, his last 19 games, a batting average over 400, 403. Hit safely in 17 of those 19 games. Base hit, first at bat.
Verlander at 50 pitches, 35 of it strikes.
Difference in the game right there. Gattis 2-run home run on a fastball.
Second inning. 1-1. 2-1. Well, I tell you what, though, the starting pitching in this series, the starting pitching in the month of May, it's just been spectacular for the Angels.
Yes.
kind of has to be, too. When you have a team like the Astros coming into town, you know you're going to have to throw up some zeros.
And they've pitched very well themselves every single game of the 5.
2-1 foul back. Evens up the count.
We talked about in the first 2 games of the series, numbers versus secondary pitches and outside pitches for Andrelton Simmons. Tops in both those categories in Major League Baseball. See if he goes away. Verlander against Simmons now.
Ground ball, left side. Bregman's got it. Halos are done here. In the 4th, we're headed to the 5th inning. Houston still on top.
Quite refreshing finish after being behind 0-1 on a slider. He got a fastball against G-Rich. Hits a 2-run home run to left field, the only scoring in the game for the Astros. Gattis, 2-run home run. His 4th of the season.
8, 9, and 1 coming up. Gattis, Kemp, and Springer. Don't throw him a fastball.
No.
You talk about 1-pitch outs. He's a candidate.
Throwing off with a slider upstairs. And we were talking about in between breaks, George Bell, the great outfielder for Toronto. He could crush a fastball. I just threw him nothing but sliders. I didn't care if I walked him, because I knew he was going to swing at it at some point, because he wanted to put the ball in play or hit it out of play if he could.
Yelled at you in Spanish, didn't he?
He says,
he
hey,
did, didn't he?
He said, yeah, good slider.
I doubt that's what came out of his mouth.
Can you throw me another? There's a reason why I walk around with this crooked right arm right now. That's right all over the strike zone.
I mean, that's right down the middle for a ball. 96-mile-per-hour fastball.
I mean, it's the heart of the plate. I mean, that's right at the heart of the plate, not even at the knees. It's above the knees. And it doesn't matter if Martin doesn't frame that or not. It's in the strike zone.
Virtually the same pitch, 3-1. George Bell, by the way, a pretty good Rule 5 pick.
Yeah. Also, remember opening day, Kansas City had 3 home runs on opening day against Brett Saberhagen, as a matter of fact.
I can't believe you dominated him as much as you did, considering he was originally a Philadelphia Philly farmhand. That's brutal.
Well, he left the fightings. Well, not on purpose. He did his let go, is pulled away on that Rule 5, though.
Three-two pitch. Down goes Gattis.
Again, he went right to a lot of breaking balls on that course. That about a couple fastballs in there. That's 3 straight strikeouts, all on sliders for Richards. That is a nasty 90-mile-an-hour slider. On top, the spin, and down and away. We talk about spin rates on sliders. 2 of the best here in baseball with Richards and Verlander. Spin rate on a slider.
Tony Kemp hit one off the back of the leg. Richards takes ball 1. Games with the big club last year.
Anyway, that spin rate on that slider, 2609 RPMs, and that slider he swung, that Gattis is swing and miss on, 90-mile-an-hour slider. Excellent spin rate on that one.
Two and 1. George didn't get you on opening day, did he?
No, that was Saberhagen.
All 3?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I think the next day against Charlie Lieberman, he might have got another one and a double or 2. So that pretty much told me I'm throwing nothing but sliders. He did give me a glare and did say a few words because I walked him on 4 pitches. I threw him a 3-0 slider his first at bat. But after that, he expanded the strike zone.
Could you paraphrase what George may have said to you on the way to first?
He says, "Don't be afraid to throw me a fastball."
In a heavy
and
accent, I'm sure.
And I said, I was. If you agree to make it out with a fastball, I'll gladly throw you a fastball. He says, I don't think I'll do that.
Chopper, left side. That's going to be a tough play. Simba has to go underneath his glove. And with Kemp's speed, it was going to be a bang-bang play, regardless at first base. Infield base hit.
Yeah, he had 13 stolen bases this season down in AAA. He's got excellent speed. He's just trying to put the ball in play. And Simba, he's got to be incredibly quick with the transfer, even to make that a close play. So you're trying to get to that baseball in the quick transfer, unable to get the ball in the glove though. Now Richards and Maldonado will be tested here.
Arco, quality top-tier gas for less.
One out here in the 5th. Kemp over at first base. Springer, the leadoff man, at the plate. He has twice popped out. Good lead for Kemp over at first. Ground ball left side, past Kozar, a base hit. Kemp will turn and stop right there. So Springer jumping on that first pitch. Back-to-back singles. Brings Bregman up. A couple of men on.
And now a huge part of the game here now for the Angels and Garrett Richards. And we talked about it in the past. That 5th inning has been a tough one for him as far as his ERA in this inning. And the way Verlander is throwing, you want to make sure you keep that just a 2-0 deficit. He's got a double play candidate at the plate, and we talked about Richards getting 61% ground ball ratio going. He would love to get a ground ball now again, even though a couple of them resulted in hits this inning.
Bregman a fly ball to right and a fly ball to left. 4 hits for Houston, 2 for the Angels. 2-0. We're in the 5th. Now Tuve on deck. Upton shallow in left field. One.
Good firm fastball from Richards.
And not too often with a base runner at second base do you see both the shortstop and the second baseman kind of messing around with a base runner, trying to keep him close. It's usually one or the other.
Yeah. As Ricky Henderson has said in the past, the easiest base to steal for a good base runner is third base. So they're trying to keep him close. You got to vary your look back to second.
2-1. 63 pitches for Garrett. He's really thrown the ball well so far. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Infield base hit to Kemp for 2 strikes, and then Springer with a base hit to left. Very first pitch, his at bat. Two-one offering.
Good break of ball there. When you look, I talked about Richards, really even in the pregame show, how well he's thrown the beginning part of the game, but the 5th and 6th innings so far this season for him, he's had struggled, especially with command. It's been a couple ground ball hits so far. He's been able to throw strikes, not overthrowing. It's very important for him in this inning right here. See if he can get a ground ball double play.
What the last inning for him. 2 hits allowed through 5 innings, and then kind of unraveled for him in the 6th inning. That was against Minnesota, and he in a no decision. He has stayed under control for the most part here in the 5th.
It's a big pitch right here, especially with Altuve on deck.
4th full count of the night. Runners don't go. 3-2. Ground ball to third. Kozar to Kinsler for 1 on to first. They got it. Double play. You mentioned it. There's Bregman. 7 double plays rolled into this year, make it 8 now to get out of the 5th.
And another ground ball for Richards. Stayed under control here in the 5th and gets a double play turned for the Halos. Just down 2-0 here, going up to the bottom of the 5th. And Richards liking that pitch and play behind him.
Garrett Richards throws a double play ball to get out of some trouble in the top of the 5th inning. Angels down 2-0. Zach Cozart leading things off. He'll take a breaking ball for a strike. Cozart a fly ball to center in the 2nd, 0 for 1.
See if a nice defensive play, Victor, can spark the offense. We saw that last night for Houston. A nice play by Reddick out in right.
Skies this one out to right center. It's playable for Reddick. One down. Hey, join the Angels this Saturday as they take on the Tampa Bay Rays. 6:07 is the first pitch. Stay and enjoy the Saturday night post-game fireworks show presented by Wells Fargo. For tickets, just go to angels.com.
The Tampa Bay Rays in town.
They might be in town now.
Yes.
They played the Royals, beat the Royals. They swept the
Yes,
Royals.
They swept the Royals. Tampa 11-12 on the road this season.
Kessler laid on the fastball. Has a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He's 0 for 1 tonight.
8 fly ball outs for Verlander in the game tonight. A couple of punch outs. Again, no walks. 2 hits allowed.
Shoots one out to right. Reddick has to move to his left. 2 down. So bases clear for Calhoun, who struck out in the 3rd. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Justin. Just 2 base runners for the Angels tonight. 2 singles. Simmons in the 2nd. Pujols in the 4th. Nobody's reached second base.
There's 59 pitches thrown so far for Verlander. Mentioned both pitchers with some quick 1-pitch outs. 41 strikes of the 59 pitches thrown for Verlander.
You know, he hasn't, unlike the April 25th start, hasn't had the dominant stuff. The way he was rolling along at Minute Maid, you thought, uh-oh,
yeah,
this got no-hit stuff. Today, doesn't quite have it, but I tell you what, he's worked every portion of the quadrant of the strike zone.
Yeah, he's put on a pitching clinic here as far as not hitting that middle part of the plate at all.
Ground ball to the right side. That's into the shift. Altuve is there. Angels very quickly down in order. We're through 5 here at the Big A, and Houston still leads it.
Talk about the two different breakables that Garrett Richards will throw. That's with the index finger up. That's his curveball. At times, a very difficult pitch to control because you have that all that pressure on that index finger. Here's that true slider, that nasty slider, which he has thrown tonight to get 3 strikeouts so far. Down and away break at 90 miles an hour. The curveball is going to be 78 to 81 range. That slider is going to be 88 to 91 on those 2 breakables. Batters hitting 118 this season coming in the game on those 2 pitches.
Here in the 6th inning, it'll be 3-4-5 for the Stros. Altuve, Correa, and McCann. 3 punch outs and a walk, 4 hits allowed, 66 pitches, 41 strikes. He's had a couple of quick innings, 8 pitch innings in the 1st and 3rd innings.
Well, you know Altuve is going to be swinging first pitch more than likely, especially if it's a fastball.
Not going to swing at that one.
As much as he swings at a lot of pitches, even high pitches out of the strike zone, that backup slider, not so much.
Close to the zone, he's hacking here.
Yeah.
Altuve with a double in the 1st, a ground out in the 3rd.
351 career batting average versus the Angels. That's the tops all time against the Angels.
It's the only time I enjoy watching Altuve when we show this graphic, just because my old man's on it.
Yes, it is.
That's
Cookie.
It. Oh, broken bat, little pop-up. Simmons going out. Makes the catch.
Back-to-back series because you had Joe Mauer in there. So a lot of play time for Cookie in that.
Can't we just blur out all the other names?
Yeah. The others, and then whoever leads, and then Cookie.
Oh, look who's 4th. Here's Correa. 0 for 1 with a walk. Correa picked up that leadoff walk in the 4th and was stranded at first base. First one upstairs. That's a good sign when you get a right-handed batter moving like that on a breaking ball.
Another breakable upper part of the strike zone. Been able to throw that slider for a strike. Now is an opportunity on a 1-2 count to try to get a swing and miss with that slider off the plate and down. Because you've established you can throw it for a strike, you have to get a hitter to have more of a tendency to chase out of the strike zone.
Is that contact with the bat or the glove?
I heard some noise.
Right, I heard something.
I thought he was hit with the pitch. Runs that fastball in. Looks like he hit the bat. See if it hits the bat. Better angle here. Yeah, it looked like it got towards the handle of the bat. Jose Mota mentioned that today on the pregame show, how Richards is going to have to, on occasion, throw a fastball off the plate to make the hitters uncomfortable. See if it works. He's late on it. Fastball. And pitchers have pitched him inside this season very effectively. Early in his career, which is still very early in his career, he's very good on pitches inside, but this season has not been the case for that for Correa inside.
Full count. Bouncer to 3rd. Cozart's got it. 2 down. before McCann comes to play. We'll take a look at the Honda upcoming schedule for the Angels. Tampa Bay Rays in town for a 4-game series beginning tomorrow night. Angels will travel on Sunday after the game. Enjoy the off day. Toronto, 3 against the Blue Jays, 3 against the Yankees, and then 4 against the Tigers. Back at home on June the 1st. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's 4 day games on that road trip.
Yeah. McCann, a swing and a miss. In case you're wondering, tonight's start time 6:40. I know we've had some questions on Twitter as to why that is. The new collective bargaining agreement limits how late a game could start depending on the team that's traveling after the game. In this case, the Astros are going home. They've got an off day tomorrow, and they are 2 time zones away. So that's why this is the latest the Angels could start the game tonight was 6:40. That's why the odd start time. I kind of like it.
I thought there was discussion about starting games at 6:30 anyhow around baseball. That way you can keep the kids at the ballpark through the end of the game with some of the lengths of the game so far. And you're really not dealing with much shadows and sunlight at 6:30 starts. Remember when I first came up to the big leagues, it used to be 7:30.
Kids
starts.
The kid's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Yeah.
Dad's the one yawning. Time to go.
Yeah.
There's the 1-2. Popped him up. Simmons racing in towards the infield grass, calling for it. Richards with a nice 1-2-3 6th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. 2-0 Houston. For 300 hours of coverage, the world's biggest sporting event begins on June 14th on Fox and FS1. Bottom of the 6th here at the Big A, the rubber game of the series between the Angels and the Astros. Halos taking game 1 last night. The Houston Astros taking game 2 and come from behind fashion. And here it's 2-0 with Evan Gattis having hit a home run back in the 2nd inning, the only scoring in this game. Verlander, 2 strikeouts, no walks, 2 singles allowed. He'll get 9-1-2 in the Angels half of the 6th inning. Maldonado, Trout, and Ohtani.
Real nice game for Richards tonight. Keeping this game close, looking for a couple of mistakes from Verlander in this inning. His 4 hits allowed through 6 innings for Richards.
Maldonado chasing a couple of high fastballs. Behind in the count 0-2. Our team popped out to Bregman in the 3rd.
Now Verlander doesn't walk off that pitching rubber, but he takes a while as he looks in and gets his sign though. But still a very good, quick worker. What Martin Maldonado has done of late, which he's really swung the bat well, he's used the entire field. He'll stay back and punch that ball to right center field, to right field. Trying to get on base, give Trout an opportunity to represent the tying run at the dish if he can get on.
Breaking ball off the play for a called strike 3, 1 down. Third strikeout now for Verlander. Maldonado's having some words.
And he's saying if you're going to call that pitch, you better get my pitcher that same exact call on a pitch off the plate. You see where this pitch is located. That's off the plate from the get-go. I mean, that's about a baseball and a half off the outside corner. Tight break to that curveball, and he brings it all the way back, but he gets the call.
Trout 0 for 2. Twice has popped out. Once the second, once the first.
2 fastballs in a row. One on the corner at 95, and that one just off the corner at 95. So pretty consistent with his velocity throughout this game. Only 67 pitches thrown for Verlander into the 6th inning. Richards very economical himself.
Out towards shallow center field. Springer has to come in on it. 2 down. Stay tuned for Angels Live post-game show for the business of sports, brought to you by Auto Nation. Low price, no pressure, guaranteed.
Shohei Ohtani last night 1 for 4, picked up that hit in his 3rd at bat. This is his 3rd at bat tonight against Verlander.
Breaking ball cut on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. Shohei 0 for 2 with a strike on the ground out.
Well, we talked about, earlier in the day and even in the pregame show about who would you want to pitch in a huge game, big game situation, one game. And Verlander's name right at the top of the list. Max Scherzer certainly in that conversation also. He's throwing the ball very well for the Nationals this year, but Verlander has been locked in all season long. He's really done a nice job too, Verlander, making Ohtani move his feet on those breaking balls down and in. Best fastball so far tonight for Verlander is 97, 79 on his curveball. So pretty good differential, 18-mile-an-hour differential between his curveball and his best fastball tonight. Ohtani's very good as far as letting the baseball travel, and he can hit that ball to the left side of the infield. Shohei Ohtani fans here as usual here at the ballpark at the Big A. I think that's what you have to do against Verlander. Sometimes when he's looking in for the sign, you see a lot of hitters standing there for a while. You have to try to dictate the pace if you're a hitter against him.
Got him. Chasing that fastball up and away, and the Angels once again down in order. 7th straight, retired by Verlander. 2-0 Houston. We head to the 7th. Well, for the Angels, just one mistake. That was a drop ball by Zach Cozart with 2 outs. It would have been the 3rd out of the 2nd inning. And the very next pitch, a fastball to Evan Gattis. Went over the left field fence, and that's the only scoring in this game. 2-0. As Garrett's through 6, 3 punch outs, 1 walk, and 4 hits allowed.
And going back to my Hyundai key reason why you see those outstanding numbers, staying in parallel lines. He's not overthrown the ball at all during the course of this game, staying back, staying within his mechanics, and staying on top of both his curveball, slider, and fastball throughout this entire game to this point. Still good life on that fastball too for Richards. Gurriel sitting on a fastball, but late on a fastball. It's a real good target set by Maldonado. He's setting up away as that leg out. Target low for that slider to be hitting that spot, and that's exactly where he threw it. Gurriel did not chase it though.
Good pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gurriel's 0-2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Out toward right center. Has some carry to it. Trout near the wall will track it down.
I can't believe how far that ball. I thought he was jammed.
I can't believe it either. It looked like that ball was in off the hands. 1 down. Nice play by Trout.
Another great route by Mike Trout out in center field. We're talking about that since day 1, even in spring training. The routes he's been able to take, that baseball just kept traveling and traveling right up to the wall. Nice play just before he goes up against that padding. Checking out to make sure Cole was in vicinity and also that wall. Makes an outstanding play, and G. Rich liking that play. His old roommate picking him up on that one.
Out to left field. Upton goes back a couple of steps.
And that baseball
down.
carried pretty well.
Hey, stay tuned during the 7th inning stretch for the Nissan Game Break with Patrick O'Neill and Jose Mota. Evan Gattis comes to the plate now.
There's one swing on a 0-1 fastball, the difference in this game. Back in the 2nd inning. For Evan Gattis, his 4th home run of the season, 14 RBI. Even though you're behind the count 1-0 here, doesn't mean you have to give in to a fastball here for Richards.
Two balls, no strikes.
Gattis looking back, wondering how that pitch was called a strike. Upper part of the strike zone on a slider. Still asking if that pitch got the upper part of the strike zone. Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve. Excellent 3-4 punch in the lineup for the Astros. Altuve with a double tonight. Correa with a walk.
2-1 pitch. A breaking ball. Two. Swing and a miss. Down goes Gattis, and a 1-2-3 7th inning for Garrett Richards as Gattis has some words for Chris Conroy. Time now for the Nissan Game Break with Patrick O'Neill and Jose Mota.
Okay, hey, thank you very much. I am here with Jose Mota for this Nissan Game Break. I know, man, we're excited. We're just on our feet. This could very well be a scoreless game, if not for that one mistake. What's your take so far?
I like what I'm seeing here, Patrick, from Garrett Richards and what he's done pretty much in commanding counts, keeping the ball down and spinning the baseball. But we talk about how good the Angels pitchers, starters have been against the Astros. This is pretty much following in the footsteps. Last night, a guy like Barria, you saw it happen with Heaney, you see it happen with Skaggs, and these guys all throughout have been able to go out there and do this, execute pitches, keep them on their heels, and of course, you mentioned against one of the best in Justin Verlander, who has been pretty much matching some zeros and has not made one single mistake all night.
Yeah, well, if it's certainly Justin Verlander, it's going to be tough. But here's the pitch right after the error that Gattis got Richards on.
And that's what good teams do. They're going to go out there and capitalize on mistakes. The error by Cozart keeps the inning alive. And, of course, a right-hander goes out there and hurts Garrett Richards. But so far, he's done very well.
Good stuff, Jose, of course. We'll see you after the game for Angels Live. This has been your Nissan Game Break. We'll get back inside for the bottom of the 7th to see if the Angels could get to Verlander. But first, here's a word from Nissan.
Verlander back to work. He'll get 3, 4, 5 here in the 7th, and up to Pujols and Simmons. 4 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed, and currently at 1.10 for the season earned run average.
Yeah, you know your deal when you have 6 shutout innings and your ERA only goes down 0.11. That's pretty good. 1.10 for the season for Verlander. So basically, he's due to give up a run or 2. Upton's been very aggressive on the first pitch against Verlander in this game.
He's jumped on the couple of early pitches. 0 for 2 with a fly ball to right and a fly ball to center.
Hit that ball very well to right center field that Reddick was able to run down.
Check swing foul into the camera well. Didn't get anybody, fortunately.
But you know, between Trout and Upton combined 3 for 40 in their careers versus Verlander. That's 2 very good hitters that have had a lot of success against right-handed pitchers also, but Verlander's pitched them very, very well. Very Verlander-ish 96.
Noe Ramirez loosening. Garrett just at 91 pitches. Really throwing the ball very well. Season high in innings. This one bounced up the middle. Altuve's there. 1 down. Garrett had 104 pitches back on April 21st. 9-1-2 coming up for the Astros in the 8th inning. Richards has retired the last 7 straight. Just 1 mistake.
Yep. He remembered that too. He threw nothing but sliders, for the most part, to Gattis after that home run on a fastball.
Albert 1 for 2 with a single and a ground ball out. '80th pitch of the night for Verlander. Richards is done, looks like. No earned runs in those 7 innings for Garrett. Check swing, he went around. Pujols down. 2 outs.
That was a nasty curveball from Verlander. 12-6 break. Yeah, crossed the plate on that one. Verlander now 35 years old. Tigers #1 pick out of Old Dominion University back in Virginia.
Simmons 1 for 2. Verlander, by the way, was not the first overall pick of that draft. He was the 2nd overall pick of the '04 draft. Who do you got as the #1 pick in '04?
I don't know that one.
Simba pops it up. Verlander's just been cruising all night. Gurriel underneath his foot. Matt Bush, the San Diego Padres, first overall pick in '04. We head to the 8th inning. Angels down 2-0.
sign for the Land Rover. Above and beyond players of the game. Both pitchers outstanding. 14 combined innings, 0 earned runs, 6 hits allowed, 9 strikeouts, is 1 walk combined between both Verlander and Richards, and very efficient as far as pitch counts. 83 for Verlander, 91 for Richards. Outstanding effort for both. We talked about it in the opening. They both lived up to that expectations.
Pitching change brought to you by Purple Bricks. Noe Ramirez on the mound for Garrett. He's going to get 9, 1 and 2 here in the 8th inning. Noe had 1 and 2 with a 3.97 ERA. 21st outing, 31 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 22 1/3. Last pitched on Saturday. That was that 3-inning stint. Garrett looking on. He was spectacular. 2 runs, both unearned runs, as Kemp takes a strike. 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk for Richards.
Well, we talked about that in the Movie Tuesdays last night. He was Iron Man. He certainly looked like pitched like Iron Man tonight. 7 very good innings for Garrett Richards tonight.
One. Kemp 1 for 2, infield base hit in his last plate appearance. Check swing bouncer towards second. Kemp retired for round number 1.
Let's take a look at tomorrow's probables, brought to you by Verizon. As the Tampa Bay Rays come into town, Tyler Skaggs on the hill for the Angels, going against Chris Archer, 2 and 3 with a 5.64 ERA. 52 punchouts though, in 52 2/3 innings pitched. Tyler Skaggs has been throwing the ball very, very well. 46 strikeouts and 44 innings pitched this season for Tyler Skaggs.
Springer 1 for 3. Couple of pop-ups and a single to left in the 5th inning.
Boy, Springer was really aggressive on the first pitch against Richards, and I know that might be his best chance of getting a fastball. 1 for 3 against Richards. Oh.
2 balls and a strike.
Looked like he was just trying to go the other way on that one.
Yeah. George, he just never gets cheated.
No. He's got pretty good power the other way also. World Series MVP 2017. I don't think it cheated on that swing either. It's like going to one of those golf tournaments where you have the long drive contest.
Yeah. Just go ahead and blow out your back just in case you do square one up. Two down. Got him to chase the off-speed pitch. 2 down.
Well, he got loose on a couple fastball swinging extremely hard, then he dropped a changeup on him. Very good changeup, good arm action for Noe Ramirez. Turns over that changeup, very little spin. Gets a swing and miss.
We're talking about Richards' performance tonight of 2 runs, both unearned in 7 innings. 16 straight games with a starter allowing 3 runs or fewer for the Angels, and all going at least 5 innings.
Remember earlier in the season, that was an issue as far as getting deeper in games. Bullpen being used a lot.
Ball and a strike. Bregman tonight 0 for 3. Double play ball on his last plate appearance.
Yeah, Bregman didn't really like that pitch called.
Get in line. Two balls, one strike.
There's a little bit of a long look just to make sure on that one for Bregman. Good pitch there. That one catching the lower part of the strike zone. Imagine, especially on that plane right there, that Ramirez threw it. 91 mile an hour fastball to the outside corner. Go back to that changeup like he threw the Springer. Same plane. He tried it. Bregman made contact though. It's by design, shake off, shake off. A lot of times the hitter will think a fastball is coming.
Bregman lines one out to deep left. Upton racing back, it's over his head. Bounces off the wall, and it'll go as a 2-out double for the Astros third baseman. 14th double of the season.
Well, he was able to get that changeup upstairs. Our top tier play brought to you by Arco. Make an adjustment on the changeup up. Stay back on it well. Good job as far as keeping that weight back by Bregman. Stays back. It drives that one over the head of Justin Upton for a 2-out double. Now in scoring position for Jose Altuve. Something you try to avoid with runners in scoring position. Altuve at the plate, especially in a tight game like this.
Altuve with the double, a ground out and a pop-up. One ball, no strikes. Chopper toward third. Cozart's got it. Across the diamond. And we'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Justin Verlander's been dealing. The Angels down 2-0. Halos down 2-0 here at the bottom of the 8th inning. I want to remind you to stay tuned for the Angels Live post-game show coming up right after the game, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Justin Verlander with 5 strikeouts, no walks. He's allowed just 2 singles, and he's yet to allow a man reach second base.
And it's 2 earned runs in his last 29 innings pitched. That's covering 4 starts versus the Angels. That's a 0.62 ERA.
Cozart leading things off, takes a breaking ball low. He'll be followed by Kinsler, then Calhoun. Two fly ball outs for the Angels' third baseman.
One of the few changeups for Verlander.
86 pitches, nobody loosening for the Astros. Just a couple of guys starting to stretch. Verlander saw that, be chapped.
Yes.
2-1. Pulled foul.
And he'd be willing to express his feelings to AJ Hinch if that was the case. Very, very competitive. Always has been.
You ever see a pitcher on the mound just put up the stop sign as the manager comes out of the dugout? Just wave them off.
Yeah, to say no, I got it. I got it. This you can do your stretching and all that stuff. Walking around, I'm good.
2-2. Upstairs, full count. I can't imagine you ever doing that to Dick Hauser.
No. That was the first rule of thumb. When I come out to take you out, just give me the baseball, and I'll say good job and move forward. That's okay. Sounds good.
Here's the payoff pitch. Cozart shoots one out toward right center field. Reddick is there. 1 down. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for the details.
But the amazing thing for Verlander tonight, as well as he has thrown, all you think in terms of a base hit and a big fly, and all of a sudden it's a tie game. You just got to get some base runners. He's not walking anybody as usual. Only 2 hits allowed.
I'm trying to think. I think Upton's out in the first inning. Probably the hardest hit ball tonight. This one back up the middle. It's a base hit. So Kinsler's on board. A 1-out single. 3rd hit allowed by Verlander.
Well, there you go. That base hit. Now, if Cole Calhoun could square one up, all of a sudden it's a tie game. Look to try to lift something.
Bregman out on the grass at 3rd. Cole swing and a miss. 96 down low. Calhoun 0 for 2. A strikeout in the 3rd. Grounded out in the 5th.
But that's the pitch you want if you're Cole Calhoun. A pitch on the lower part of the strike zone and a fastball. But 96 from Verlander.
Another tight one tonight. Quick throw to first. Kinsler back. Oh, what? Popped up behind the plate. McCann runs out of room off the screen.
Now your approach changes quite a bit if you're Cole. Now you're trying to hit a ball down that third baseline. Especially behind in the count, you're trying to shorten up your swing.
Martin Maldonado, the man on deck. Kinsler at first, 1 out, 2-0, Houston. Out towards center field, hit very well. Springer giving chase, not going to get there. That's a one-hopper over the wall, a double for Cole Calhoun. Kinsler's got to stop at third.
And that's the swing we've been waiting for quite a while for Cole Calhoun. Dead center field, one hops it into the batter's eye, and those bushes out in center field. Got a fastball up. Stayed back on that one very well. He's letting that baseball travel. That was the important swing and moment there for Cole Calhoun. Even though it was above the belt, dead center field. Unfortunately, that one hop goes into out of play. Otherwise, that's going to be a run score with Kinsler's speed.
That's the first extra base hit for Cole Calhoun since opening day. That's got to feel oh so good. So 2 on, 1 out. Maldonado coming to the plate. Martin, a pop-up, a strikeout. He's actually going to be pinch hit for us. Valbuena comes up now. Luis at .248 on the season. 4 home runs, 14 runs batted, and just 1 for 7 with an RBI as a pinch hitter.
And he has struggled against Verlander in his career. 3 for 33, but he does have a home run, 5 RBI.
Infield back, well, you'll just take the out, right?
Yep.
Get that run in, Trout's on deck.
Changes the whole complexion of the game. You get this run home.
Downstairs, 1-0. Kinsler at third base, Calhoun at first. 3 infielders on the right side. Bregman close to third base. Gives Kinsler the opportunity to take a bigger lead. Ball in the dirt, you never know. 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, 2-0. Just the second 2-0 count Verlander's had tonight.
Well, he geared it up there. 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Valbuena pulling off that pitch that was middle away.
Yeah, when you're up 2-0, you want to have that mindset of trying to drive the ball out, but now it changes. You have to get that run across. At the very least, one of them, if not tie it up.
First time tonight the Angels have had a man reach second or third. 2 in scoring position, the tying run, and Calhoun at second. 2-0, we're in the 8th with 1 out. Verlander's 2-1 pitch. Foul back, 2-2.
Imagine he's going to throw that tight, hard slider down and in now.
Now the 2-2. Takes a called strike 3 at 97. 2 outs. Got to protect. Pretty good pitch.
Fastball again. He's geared it up. This is the thing that makes Verlander so special, his ability to get to that next level, kick it up a gear, and he runs that fastball lower part of the strike zone for a call third strike. But this is the moment you're waiting for. You have Trout up here right now against the best in the game right now in Justin Verlander.
0 for 3 tonight with 3 fly ball outs. Verlander from the full windup.
check swing roller. Got him on a high fastball. Angels leave 2 in scoring position. We head to the 9th, 2-0 Detroit.
Boy, what a fastball. He talked about turning up another gear, and Verlander did so. Runs the fastball up and in, finish it off. No runs allowed.
Shame that the Angels just could not push across a run in the 8th inning against Verlander. Blake Parker takes over on the mound. Noe Ramirez, a scoreless 8th inning. 1 strikeout, 1 hit here in the 9th. It'll be Correa, McCann, and Gurriel coming up for the Stros. Parker pitching for the 20th time this year, 1-1 with a 3.26 ERA. 20 strikeouts, 7 walks at 19 1/3. Carlos Correa 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Going to break a set. Detroit clearly looking at Verlander. And it's obvious it's the Astros.
Yeah. Well, he's pitching like he did when he won an MVP wearing that Tiger uniform in Cy Young.
Thanks for covering me up, buddy. Not the first time, won't be the last time I screw something up.
There you go. But I'll tell you what, that's what makes him so special in these big moments. Be able to dial it up to the next level, and he made some good pitches to Valbuena and up and in against Trout.
He's made his pitches when he's needed to. 0-1 off the plate. 1 ball but strike. Happy for Cole to square one up. Cost the ball going over the wall, cost him a run. An RBI. Kinsler having to stop at third base.
Good splitter there from Parker. Getting much better. Talk about that downward action on his splitter. Early in the season had lateral action right in the barrel of the bat.
Line toward right center field. Trout was shading Correa that way. 1 out. Let's take a look now at the Nissan out-of-town scoreboard. Gooby, what do you got?
Well, you see some very excellent efforts tonight. Jay Happ, 7 scoreless innings, only gave up 2 hits, had 2 hits himself swinging the bat against the Mets. C.J. Cron coming into town at his 10th home run of the season for Tampa as they sweep Kansas City. And Trevor Bauer, excellent 8 scoreless inning, no walks, 10 punch-outs, as Cleveland salvages that 1 game against the Tigers. Trevor Bauer, former teammate of Garrett Cole at UCLA.
McCann takes downstairs. Nobody warming for the Astros. Verlander will be coming out for the 9th inning. Ohtani, Upton, and Pujols due up. Ball and a strike. McCann 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to left and a pop up to short.
Good fastball.
Here's the 1-2. Almost got him to chase it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits allowed in his 5 innings of work in the month of May from Blake Parker. Trying to get back to an incredible season he had last year for the Angels, pitching in 71 games. With a 2.54 ERA and a whip of .83. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Got him looking down. Goes McCann. 2 outs.
Sequence there for Parker. You mentioned that, but if he gets back to where he was last season, this bullpen is much deeper. Break a ball upstairs. 78. He's thrown a good splitter so far in this game also.
Gurriel 0 for 3. Ground ball to short, a strike on the fly ball to center. Stros on top, 2-0. 5 hits for Houston, 4 for the Angels. Both teams have stranded 4. 2 unearned runs. The home run by Gattis in the 2nd. 2 outs.
Fastball. 93 for Parker. Remember last year, 93, 95 on a consistent basis. He's starting to get back that fastball. Try to run that fastball away. Go back down to the split.
Throws the bat out, somehow pulls that ball off the screen in front of the Angels dugout. The bat goes toward the mound.
Very little rotation in a splitter, just throwing that bat at it to make contact.
Oh, 2. Got him swinging. A 1-2-3. 9th inning for Blake Parker. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Ohtani, Upton, Pujols coming up against Verlander, down 2-0. by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. 8 innings for Justin Verlander, 6 strikeouts, no walks. He's allowed 4 hits. He's got a 2-0 lead. It'll be Ohtani, Upton, then Pujols.
In his last shutout back on August 26, 2015, and that was versus the Angels.
Hasn't had a complete game since 2016. Ohtani chased the high fastball up and out of the strike zone. 0-1. Shohei 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out.
Well, he's really pitched Ohtani well tonight. He's pitched him inside. He saw him break a ball inside. And last at bat, got to chase a fastball up and away. Very few times have we seen Shohei Ohtani not having a good game plan against a pitcher on the mound. Verlander's done a great job against him tonight.
0-2 pitch. Shohei strikes out swinging. There's out number 1.
He runs that fastball almost the exact same spot as he struck him out his 3rd at bat. Runs it up and away.
Upton 0 for 3. Fly ball to right, fly ball to center, and ground ball to second. It's the 7th strikeout of the night for Justin Verlander. Career strikeout number 2,500 as this one's popped up. Gurriel into foul territory. 2 down. The Angels down to the last out. The Albert Pujols coming to the plate. Twice now this year, the Angels have not been able to solve Justin Verlander. Had an opportunity with 1 out in the 8th inning. Next Ocean pinch hitting Luis Valbuena. With Martin Maldonado, Luis struck out and threw an incredible pitch to Trout up and in. Got a 20 check swing roller.
2,500 strikeouts now for Verlander in his career. With that punch out against Shohei Ohtani. Actually, nobody's really figured out how to hit Verlander this season. It's been that good.
Oh, 2 all the way. Lays off. Pujols. Base hit back in the 4th inning. A 1 for 3 game.
2 potential Hall of Famers going at it right here. 1-2 count for Pujols.
One, 2 now. Breaking ball. Misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
.33rd pitcher in Major League history to have 2,500 strikeouts. Verlander picked that up tonight.
.107 pitches. Here's the 108th. Check swing. Wanted to take. Full count.
Looked like he was able to hold up on that break ball and did so.
Line to right center field, a base hit, if not more. No, it'll be a base hit as Reddick cuts it off. So you're saying there's a chance as Andrelton Simmons comes to the plate. 2-hit night for Albert.
2 of the 5 hits combined in the game by Albert Pujols. He stayed back on that one very well. What a real good at bat by Albert. Didn't chase a couple of those breaking balls out of the strike zone. Some really good ones Verlander threw him, and then gets the fastball, lines at the right center field. Now, if you want someone up here to have a chance, real good chance to drive a baseball, it's Andrelton Simmons against Verlander, because he hits pitches that are elevated and he can drive them.
Sybil 1 for 3, had a single back in the second. 3,010 hits now for Pujols, ties Wade Boggs, 29th all time. Here's the first one. Andrelton takes a strike off the plate again. Conroy's called that all night, yet it's still off the plate.
Yeah, it's still a baseball or so off the outside corner. And that's well off, but maybe 2 baseballs off the outside corner.
Eric Gregg would be proud. Major League umpire. Oh, 1 pitch.
And what that forces you as a hitter, when you're getting those pitches called and you're thinking they're a ball, you expand your strike zone. Albert giving the Angels a chance with that base hit to right center field.
.111 pitches for Verlander. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Misses in. 2-1. Ken Giles now loosening in the bullpen for Houston. Giles closed it out for the Stros last night. Two-one pitch off the plate, 3-1. Another breaking ball. Kinsler's on deck.
Yeah, now I think if you're, McCann's going to go out of a quick conversation with Verlander. I think if you're Andrelton Simmons, I'm just zoning in on a fastball right now. Elevate a fastball.
He was way out in front of the breaking ball in his last plate appearance, and he popped out.
And I think that's what the conversation is. You feel comfortable throwing a breaking ball. You saw him out in front.
It's also a conversation, I think, to let Giles finish getting ready just in case Simmons gets on board.
I mean, coming into series, 365 on secondary pitches for Andrelton Simmons, so he can hit that breaking ball well. And a lot of times the school of thought is if the guy's going to hit a home run against you, you got to hit it the other way. But Verlander has shown he threw that fastball up and in on Trout with 2 men in scoring position. Will he try a fastball in here against Simmons?
He's ready. The 3-1 goes breaking ball off the plate. 2 on, 2 outs. Kinsler due up. What does A.J. Hinch do? That's the first walk allowed by Verlander tonight.
Zach Cozart has done this in the past. 3-2, I should say, walk-off hits as an Angel on Sunday. With a chance to walk off. Single in the left field. Chris Young comes around to score. The walk-off hit 2 so far this season, including one of them being a home run for Zach Cozart.
Cozart tonight 0 for 3. Kinsler now on deck. Pujols at second. Simmons at first. 3 fly ball outs for Cozart tonight. The last 2 out toward right center field. Verlander's first one. Off the plate for ball 1.
It's still a tight slider, but a little bit off the plate now.
That's a tough pitch to lay off him.
Yes.
5 pitches out of the strike zone for Verlander. 115 pitches now. Outfield straight around, infield pretty much the same. Altuve toward the middle. Here's the 1-0. Fastball in there for a strike. That's a perfect pitch.
That is a pitcher's pitch at 96. Well, sometimes as a starter, you're out in that game, you're trying to get that shutout. That last out is always the toughest, and it has been so far for Verlander. Base hit by Pujols, a walk by Simmons. Cozart at the dish on a 1-1 count.
One off the plate, 2-1. Two out, single by Pujols, followed by the Simmons walk. Two-one. Popped him up. In on the hands. Gurriel underneath it. And the Astros shut out the Angels 2-0 tonight.
Boy, is Justin's wife, Kate Upton, Verlander looks on as Justin Verlander able to close this one out with a fastball up and in. Did so to Mike Trout. Verlander dealt again, pick up his first shutout since August 26, 2015.
Halos took 2 of 3 at Minute Maid Park. The Astros come here and return the favor. They take 2 of 3. The Angels drop this one by the final of 2-0. Stick around. Angels Live post game is coming up next.